What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. Let the games begin. We are doing the playthrough version of Cubone, the lonely Pokemon. We start off with Bone Club and Growl. Bone Club is a great move except for one big flaw that I did not understand before I started filming this. So yeah, when I do my predictions, literally I do a little bit of research. I read online, I look at the stats, I do the predictions, and then I go and do the playthrough. And then after I do the playthrough, I might actually watch some other YouTubers that have played through this while I'm actually doing the playthrough, or while I'm doing the editing and whatnot. And maybe I should do that in reverse order, because yeah, here's the problem with Bone Club: it cannot hit birds. So it cannot hit birds. So the early part of the game is pretty simple. It's a very powerful move. So we have that early on. So that's not the issue. The issue is it does not hit birds. So we have to fight our rival fight here in a minute. So this is why we fight our Million Light Years trainer first, which we handled pretty well. Bone Club is a 2-hit, and then on Sandshrew, I think it's a 5-hit, maybe a 4-hit. That's 4-hit. Okay. Sandshrew can be tricky there because he can sand attack you. Looking at the rival fight. So here's the problem with the rival fight. To beat the rival, you cannot get past the Pidgey with Bone Club. So I had to use Struggle. I had to deplete all of our power points and use Struggle, which is okay. It works very well. As long as you have a decent amount of health getting to the Bulbasaur, you're fine. He has no grass moves. We're weak to grass, but he has no grass moves. Then we get the Brock. Brock is not going to be very difficult. We could probably do this at a lower level, honestly. But and honestly, we probably should have done this maybe a little higher level, just so we hit some damage rounding. But Bone Club, look how much happens right here with Bide. So there's Bide. So if we miss, it's pretty bad, because Bide, we do a lot of damage with it, and Bide can deal back that damage double. So, but we get the win. Wakanda forever, and we move on to Route 3. Now Route 3 is not very difficult, because like I said, pretty much Bone Club is going to 1 or 2 shot everything. But this is the downside as well, as we only have one move, and I actually forgot to add Bide. So there's a battle in here where I had to actually deplete all of my Growls and just use Struggle. I didn't leave it in this. It's a long, grueling battle, and it was very frustrating to me that I forgot to add Bide, just so I can mitigate some of these fights. But it is what it is. It just took a little bit of time. And what we really need to do is get the Mount Moon at this point. Mount Moon opens it up for us, because Mount Moon adds 2 more moves. Like I said, Bone Club's great. It's 65 base power, but with Stab, it makes it about like a 98 base power move. So very good. So now we're in Mount Moon. We get Water Gun, which we didn't add it for this fight yet. But Water Gun is a 40 base power water move. Now that's not super great. Our special isn't good. So water is a special move. So it doesn't do a hell of a lot. But what it does do is it does give us something to attack rock Pokemon. That will be super effective every time. We do not have to worry about it taking like 3 or 4 moves to knock something out, or even the accuracy. Water Gun's 100% accurate. So 40% accurate water move that can one-shot ground and grass type, and maybe even fire type, is a fantastic move. And then we also get Mega Punch right here. Mega Punch, it's not very powerful. I mean, it's very powerful, but it's not very accurate. So it's an 80 base power move, 85% accurate. It's good for where you get it and when you get it, but it has a shelf life. It has an expiration date, is the best way to put it. So Mount Moon's not very tough. We just beat this little super nerd. We get the Dome Fossil, and we move on to Misty's gym. Now we're not going to fight Misty right away. She is water type. We are ground. We are also very slow. She will pretty much one-shot us. She will one-shot us every time. So we're just going to knock out these trainers in here in preparation for our next rival fight. And now we're facing this Goldeen with Peck. Bone Club should 2-shot, maybe 3-shot this thing. There we go. We got it done. And now we're moving on to our rival. So our rival can be tricky, because the Pidgeotto at the beginning can really screw you up. And if you don't pick up Water Gun or Mega Punch, you literally can't hit this thing unless you only have Bide. But because we pick up Water Gun, because we pick up Mega Punch, we have 2 moves that can actually hit this damn thing. So it took us down to 28 health, so it did a lot of damage to us. Abra's a one-shot. Rattata is scary because Hyper Beam can do, or I'm not Hyper Beam, Hyper Fang can do a lot of damage. And because our rival's an idiot, he just uses Growl. And we move on to, this is Nugget Bridge. So a lot of stuff on Nugget Bridge is very tedious. And what's nice about Cubone is Cubone has a lot of moves. these a lot of moves gives us what's a lot of power points, and we don't have to go back and heal as often. So we have Bone Club, which Bone Club is like 25. Is it 25 power points? No, yeah, 20 power points. We have, at this point in the game, we have Mega Punch, which is 20. We have Water Gun, which is 25. And Bide is 10, but we're going to get rid of Bide very soon with the new move. But yeah, we have a lot of power points. So as long as we can keep ourselves healthy, we can one-shot things, and we're not taking too much damage, we can go a long time without having to run back to heal. I think we run back to heal here just because we're running out of something, I think. Or we don't have enough potions. I don't remember why. But we have to run back to heal here. So the run, we'll just talk about the playthrough because we're just this is just some fighting here. The playthrough went pretty well. I think for sure I predicted about an hour and 20 minutes. A little off on that, just gonna be honest. If it wasn't for one Pokemon, we probably wouldn't have an issue. We'd probably get done that fast. But one Pokemon in this playthrough, it's one specific Pokemon, is just like the crux of our, just like the bane of our existence, basically. And it's pretty much the bane of a lot of Pokemon's existence because it's a tough Pokemon. It's one of the best Pokemon in the game that we have to come across, and we literally just don't have an answer. I thought maybe Bone Meringue might actually be able to do something, but again, it's a ground move, and it can't hit Flying type. So this Pokemon is a Flying Water type. You'll probably know what it is by now. If you've played any of these playthroughs, you'll know what Pokemon it is. But this Pokemon, it's hard to mitigate. It's hard to mitigate. The only way you can try to, quote-unquote, get around it is if I'd made our rival choose a Water type, which would have been Squirtle, but we still have to deal with Gyarados when it comes to, now you know the Pokemon, when it comes to Lance. So it's just maybe prolonging, but still, even though, I mean, here's the thing, Blastoise you can actually hit with ground moves, so that would be the trade-off. So maybe having Blastoise instead of Venusaur would have been better, but the natural enemy of ground type is grass type, so that's why I chose that. So maybe I'll do one in the future and see if that actually makes it faster. Maybe that'll be like the replay and try to optimize. So this trainer right here can be tricky. We actually beat the Hiker too. I forgot to mention it, but the Hiker's easy now because we have Water Gun. That's why we get Water Gun. So now we're saving Bill from his freaky experiment. I don't know why he wants to turn himself into a Pokemon. Maybe it's a fetish thing. I don't know. But we save him and we get the SSN ticket and we escape rope down to here to fight Sandy. Sandy has 3 Pidgeys that all know Sand Attack, they all know Quick Attack, and they all know Gust. That's why she's named Sandy. But with a decent move like Mega Punch, we can just knock them all out in one hit. Now we're facing my favorite NPC I have no name for. Spear Overtake the Zero, and we eradicate the Eradicate. Eradicate the Eradicate, not the Eradicate. So, now we're moving on to our rival. Rival fight, we've added Body Slam, and we're at 69 health, nice. And we knock out the first Pokemon. Knock out, no, not quite. Knock out the second one, very good. Kadabra can be scary, because Kadabra will outspeed us pretty much the rest of this game until we badge boost. But Body Slam, we have to knock out there. Very good. So take very little damage, beat our rival, and we evolve into Marowak. Very good. Awesome. Now we're facing Misty. So evolving into Marowak very much helps Misty, because now that really ups our speed a little bit, and now we can outspeed the Staryu. So Staryu will be a one-shot. Now, you cannot beat Starmie unless it just uses Water Gun, because Dig is very powerful, but it's not powerful enough to one-shot Starmie. So we get the win. Luckily, she didn't go for Bubble Beam. That will not be a win if she hits Bubble Beam. Now Lieutenant Surge is up. Lieutenant Surge is a cakewalk because naturally we are ground type. He is electric type. So we're going to one shot. There's 2 Pokemon out of one shot. I don't know if Bone Club is one. It is. So there we go. And so now moving on to Rock Tunnel. Rock Tunnel isn't nothing really crazy in Rock Tunnel. We actually added Bubble Beam that we got from Misty. So our water move went from 40 to 65 base power. So any rock Pokemon from here on out, we're pretty much got handled. Because we're going to get another move here in a little bit. So Bone Club, knock it out, very good. I got a little upset because for some reason I thought during reading this, I've been reading a lot of Pokemon, their stats and their moves and stuff for future videos. And I thought for some reason we could learn Thunderbolt, so I'm like, oh, we got a way to get around this Pokemon. We got Thunderbolt. No, but it's a different Pokemon that gets access to it. So here's a Hiker, one shot, very good. So this is why its coverage is great for this Pokemon. That's why I thought this Pokemon would have the higher the higher time that is. Now, so we're pacing pretty well, 46 minutes. So we're doing a pretty good pace. And then Bubble Beam will one-shot everyone on this team's member. This is Boomer the Hiker. Boomer! And we beat Boomer the Hiker. And we move on to Celadon City. Now, Celadon City, we did a little bit of things here. I'm not showing this, but I did a little bit of things here. So, in the game, you can actually buy things that will help you gain more stat experience for certain stats. So, for example, if you buy a protein, your attack stat will go up. So when you level up, you get a little bit more growth out of that stat. So we could buy things that help us do that. We can only buy so many. There's like a limited number you can get before it stops having any effect on you. But basically what I did was I went and bought a handful of carbs and calciums. Okay, we're not very fast. We are also not, we don't have high special. So having more speed is probably more important than special to me at this point. Because you want to outspeed some Pokemon, like the Gyarados I was talking about earlier. So on and so forth. It doesn't do like as much as you'd hope. It doesn't like really boost it up. And we're actually getting TMs there. I never get that TM for a reason when, but I need to sell because I really need to buy vitamins. So we did get some of those. We picked up Ice Beam, got rid of Ice Beam and replaced Bubble Beam for Ice Beam. Bubble Beam's 65 base power. Ice Beam's 95. So it's a much more powerful move. It has the chance to freeze. There's a lot of things that move can do, and it can just help you a lot. So I decided like that was the play, and I don't know why I picked the Moonstone here. That was stupid. I should have known better. But it is what it is. And we're getting to this next part here. And the next part is super easy because Giovanni is not tough. If you have any Pokemon that has a good ground move or like a water move, Giovanni is a cakewalk. So down here, we're going to get this. We're going to toss something. Yeah, we got to toss this. Now go all the way down. Toss that Moonstone. There we go. We don't need the Moonstone. We're not going to use it. It's never going to get used. So now we're fighting Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they both have the same Pokemon, just they swap the evolutions. So you have a Sandshrew and an Ekans and a Sandslash, and the other one has Sandshrew, Ekans, and Arbok. They're very easy. They're supposed to be guards, and they're not very good at all, but we beat them anyway. So we're at level 35. We're actually pretty good leveled for where we should be in the game. Now, I don't know how many people actually watch these videos and or know Pokemon. I want you to know that there's a lot of fights that I do skip that are skipped because we're only playing with one Pokemon. One Pokemon we don't have to get that much experience. There are some Pokemon where you do, like Onix. You have to get a boatload of experience, so it helps to fight every trainer. And we're on to our 5th rival fight. So Ice Beam's a one-shot on the Pidgeotto. So Gyarados comes out. Now Gyarados, the rival cheats here. Because Gyarados, he tried to use Hydro Pump. Go look at Bulbapedia, go look at Bulba Garden, go look at any website that gives you the damage dealing moves for any Pokemon, and we beat our rival pretty handily. That's not the tough rival fight. The next one's the tough one. The rival cheats. If you go look at any of the online things that show you the moves and such for Pokemon, Gyarados does not get Hydro Pump until level 41. So somehow he caught a wild Gyarados that already had Hydro Pump. I don't know. It's very much a cheat, and he shouldn't have that move. And he could wreck our run with that move right there if it ever hit, because it's a 120 base power move. I think is what it is. So we decided to go into Cobra Kai and fight. Like I said, I gave some calcium, some carbs, boost stats. So this is me trying to get some extra levels. It does actually improve our stats when we do that by giving those vitamins. So when you level, so for example, let's say you gain 2 special every time you level up. By giving those vitamins, you might now gain 4 every time you level up, or 3 or whatever. So it's subtle. It's not like over the top a lot of stuff, but it's very subtle. So we also now grabbed Earthquake. So I want to see our moveset real quick. Okay. So Earthquake, Body Slam, Ice Beam, and Thrash. So Thrash is a good move because if you have an opposition that only has like 2 or 3 Pokemon, it's great. Because Thrash will hit, and it keeps hitting, and it's very powerful. It's 90 base power move, 100% accurate. And now I got confused, so I was a little worried I might lose here, but we just have to hit 1 attack when they're done. Earthquake is 100 base power ground move, so that's a stab move. So that's probably the most powerful move in the game that we can learn. Dig is the same, but Dig takes 2 turns, so I'd rather have Earthquake. Earthquake's better. You don't run the risk of status conditions. If you get paralyzed, you can just do Earthquake. You don't have to take 2 turns to do it. So there's a lot of benefits to it. So Thrash will one-shot just about anything it comes across at this point in the game, for the most part. But the problem with Thrash is if it goes too long, you will get confused whenever the thrashing's done. So that's kind of the downside. So if you have an opposition with like 2 Pokemon, like this girl right here is 2 Pokemon. So Thrash, if you did that, it just knocks them out 1 and 1, done. And like I said, it's 90 base power, so it's a very powerful move. The gym here is not hard. We are level 42. Any move we have will pretty much one-shot anything we come across. Now, Erica will be a little bit different because she is very bulky. She has some... Victory Bell is a very good Pokemon. Vileplume's a pretty solid Pokemon. Tangela is garbage, but Victory Bell is very tough. So now we're facing Erica. So Erica will come out with a Victory Bell. Victory Bell, one of the best grass types in the game. Ice Beam is not a one-shot. Razor Leaf is almost a one-shot on us. So we get the knockout. So I'm like, oh gosh, this is bad. However, Victory Bell has very good defense, whereas Vileplume does not. So that's why we get the knockout. And we beat Erica, get the 3rd gym, and we move right from Erica right on to Koga. Koga will not be super tough because we have Earthquake. It's a very powerful move, very powerful stab. Not to mention we're about 6 levels higher than his Pokemon. Get the knockout there, and now the Weezing. The only tricky part of the Weezing is Self-Destruct could knock us out. See how much damage that does. If it had a little bit more health, it probably could have knocked us out. But we get the win, and I move right from that. I just go right to Blaine's gym. So Blaine's gym is the Fire Gym. He's not very difficult. We actually do have an ice move that can help. I think we actually could learn Surf too, but we didn't. We can't learn Surf. But we could have Bubble Beam for that, but I decided not to. So right now we're just trying to get through this, and we're trying to get as many levels as possible. Level 46. Our time is great. So we're at Blaine with an hour and 1 minute. So at this point in the game, you basically have to make concessions on where you want to go. So I got to the point where when you come out of Rock Tunnel, you can immediately go fight Erica. Not a good idea. I'm ground type. So I wanted to get a little bit higher level so I can pretty much just one-shot her and move on. I'm not trying to face Erica and make it the most complicated fight. I just want to beat her and move on. The whole goal of this is to beat the game as fast as possible. That's why I don't have any qualms with fighting a battle 2 extra to get an extra level or 2. And the other part about this is like when you get to Celadon City, you have choices. You can go fight Team Rocket. You can fight Erica. Actually, there's really only 2 choices, but if you fight Team Rocket and you don't want to fight Erica, you can go fight your rival number 5, and then when your rival 5 is done, you can actually go fight rival number 6 immediately at Silphco. You can go get some moves. You can go fight Erica at that point, or you can go fight Koga at that point. So we have options in the order in which we do things. The toughest thing to do after we get out of Celadon, or after we beat the Pokemon Tower, is to face our rival 5. Rival 5 is one of the biggest walls we have to deal with in this game. Like I said earlier, Cubone, I misjudged some things. I thought that the attack, the way it sounds, Cubone, or Bone Club, you're just smacking something. In Boomerang, you're throwing something at something and it's getting damaged. But because they are classified in the game as ground, neither one of those moves can hit Gyarados. And also, I just said our best move was Earthquake. So Earthquake is our best move, and we can't hit Gyarados with our best move. So we have to rely on something other than Earthquake. Are we facing Blaine now? We are. I'm sorry. Arcanine. Okay, so Blaine's pretty much a cakewalk because he just does a lot of super active potions. I apologize. I was talking over that. So now here's Rival 5. Here's the fun Rival 5 shenanigans we have to deal with. So Rival 5 has a couple Pokemon that first off outspeed. Okay. Pidgeot actually doesn't go down on a one-shot, which is stupid. But Gyarados, so Body Slam. See Gyarados, yeah, he's going to use Hydro Pump every time. He's going to use Hydro Pump every time because Hydro Pump is water and we are ground, and it's classified as the most effective move. He'll never use Dragon Rage. He'll never use Bite. He will strictly use Hydro Pump every stinking time. So level 49. Okay, and I'm trying to get us to beat. What I want right now is I want to paralyze, so he can't attack us. But like I said, he's gonna use Hydro Pump. So I went and did some leveling up and came back to see if I can get this done. I think it's level 51. Yeah, level 51. Okay. So Ice Beam, that gets us over damage rounding for Ice Beam. Body Slam paralyzes, which is our best case scenario. I don't care if he uses the potion. But Body Slam paralyzes. Ice Beam's a one-shot. Very good. So now our next problem is Alakazam. Okay, never mind. Alakazam. We outspeed Alakazam. That's good. So now Venusaur Razor Leaf could do a lot of damage to us, but we do have pretty good defense, so we are able to beat our rival there. And like I said, Gyarados, if we don't paralyze him, he's going to knock us out. That's really what it is. And later, Alakazam is faster than us, so he has Psychic. Psychic doesn't do a lot to us, but it's special, and we have low special. So that's the problem with Alakazam. All the other Pokemon we can outspeed. That's not a problem. But Alakazam and Gyarados are the two problems we have with our rival. So Giovanni, this is our second Giovanni. He's not hard. And now we're facing Sabrina. And the same problem with Sabrina is the same problem we're going to have with our rival. A lot of Psychic-type Pokemon have high special, and they have good speed. Now, luckily, they're very frail. So any physical move that hits them should do a lot of damage. I should use Ice Beam on her, but it's okay. So we're not going to outspeed Alakazam. Psybeam doesn't do a lot. Luckily, he didn't do Psychic. Could have been bad, but with our low special, would have done a lot more damage than normal. So now we're in Giovanni's gym. So this is, usually I don't do this, but this is an opportunity to get some extra levels before the Elite Four, and I think it's smart to do that. So Elite Four is going to have two main challenges, actually three main challenges, but the first main challenge we got to deal with, which we actually have to deal with our rival first, who also has the Gyarados. But the rival is not quite as hard when it comes to a couple things, and I'll show you why here in a minute. But the Elite Four has Lorelei, who has all water type and ice type, water, ice, whatever. So that's not going to be hard, or that's going to be pretty difficult. Bruno, we don't talk about it much, but Bruno's not hard. Agatha won't be hard because we have Earthquake. We just have to worry about outspeeding. And then Lance, as long as we get by the Gyarados with Body Slam or something, and something that can do a lot of damage, we'll be fine. But that Gyarados can be a wall that we have to overcome. That's a big wall we have to overcome. Okay. So all in all, I think the run's going pretty well. We're an hour and 20 minutes exactly. This is where I predicted we'd be done. We're not bad. We're not far off. It takes about 10 minutes to get the rest of the game done if you don't have any hiccups. Taking a drink of my drink. And that's pretty much where we're at this moment. There's about 10 minutes left. If everything goes perfect, there's about 10 minutes left. But heads up, everything doesn't go perfect. It never does. That's Pokemon for you. And with this Pokemon's displacement of stats and not having really a move. If we had Rock Slide, I wish we had Rock Slide. If we had a Rock Slide, that would have mitigated it. We do get access to some good stuff. We got Fire Blast on here. Ice Beam, I don't know how. A little, almost a Charmander looking thing with a skull on its head. Can learn those moves, but I ain't gonna complain. And so now we have Giovanni. So we're gonna knock out the Rhyhorn. Now, Doug Trio can give us problems. He's digging right now. Now in future generations, Earthquake would have still hit it because it was underground. But we get the knockout. There's 3 knockouts. There's 4 knockouts. Is there 5 knockouts from Rhydon? Oh, we are not. But he uses the guard spec. It's the greatest thing you could ever do, Giovanni. If I learned how to fight from you, I would never get these playthroughs done. So now we have the rival fight. I'm pretty sure I have to fight this a couple times. So we start off with Mimic. Mimic will let us knock or steal agility from Pidgeot. The reason why that's important to do is because we can boost our stats. Not only can we boost our speed, but our special, our attack, and our defense all go up because of the badge boost glitch, which raises our every stat by 12.5%. So, Body Slam 2-shot, but Hydro Pump did a lot of damage there. Earthquake's a 1-shot on Growlithe. Do we outspeed Alakazam? We do. We don't knock it out, though, but he does recover. So, do we knock out Venusaur? That's the real question here. We do not. Vine Whip knockout. Okay. So, in practice, that's correct. We just need Gyarados to miss a Hydro Pump. That's really what the problem here is we took a lot of damage from Gyarados because of that Hydro Pump. Agility 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go for Ice Beam, knockout, very good. Rhyhorn, Ice Beam, knockout, very good. Gyarados, Body Slam, does it okay, so we have a little bit more health now from that. It's good, but is it enough to survive a hit from Venusaur? If it's Razor Leaf, probably not. Razor Leaf is a 1-shot, okay. So that's the problem. We just don't have enough health to tank one hit from Venusaur. We also, our move isn't powerful enough to not to one-shot the Venusaur either. So there's a couple things we can do here. We really, the only thing we can do is add Blizzard. Blizzard is a more powerful attack than Ice Beam. So Ice Beam's a 95 base power move. Blizzard is 120. So by having Blizzard, we might be able to just one-shot the Venusaur with a little bit of a boost in our stats. Okay, so now we're going to go for Rhyhorn. Earthquake will do the same exact thing. It doesn't matter. Earthquake, Blizzard, it's going to knock it out. Body Slam, Hydro Pump. We have a little bit less health this time. We have 44 health. Knock out the Growlithe. Do we knock out the Alakazam in one hit? We do. The question is, do we knock out the Venusaur? We do not. If it hits us again, dang. It's just a little bit of a damage round, dude. It's all a little bit. If we just don't take any damage from Gyarados, if Gyarados misses one Hydro Pump, I don't use Hydro Pump in my playthroughs for one specific reason. It always misses. It does not hit as often as it does for the rival. Rival, it cheats. One, he shouldn't even have Hydro Pump until level 41. So for this battle, it's fine. But for other battles, it doesn't make sense that he has it. Because it's not level 41. You don't get it to level 41. Now, right now, Hydro Pump, and we have a little bit more damage. So, that's good. Earthquake gets the knockout. Earthquake gets knocked out again, or Body Slam does. So, does Blizzard knock it out? It's so close, but he goes for... So that's good. Okay, so what happened there? We put him into what's called a healing range. So he went for a potion. Now, fun fact, at that point in the game... so, I'm going to pause this for 1 second. This is a fun little tidbit right here. So at that point in the game, that he has the same exact things that the rival number 2 fight that we had really early in the game has, which is a couple potions. That's why he uses a potion, not like a full restore or a full heal or anything like that. The game just never changed it. Okay, so here we go. We're fighting Lorelei. So Lorelei, we just got to knock out the Dugong. We got to get by the Dugong, and we also got to get by the Cloyster. Earthquake is not a one hit, or we tank or an Aurora Beam. So 53 health, not a lot of health, but we're going to mimic Amnesia off the Slowbro. And what that does, that boosts our special, but also boosts all of our other stats. Okay? Blizzard is not a one-shot. She's going to over Earthquake. There we go. Earthquake is a one-shot Jinx. She's very frail. Earthquake is a two-shot on the Lapras. Very good. A little scary there, but we get the win. And now we move on to Bruno. We don't talk about him much, but we have really a great move set to hammer Bruno. Earthquake, one-shot the Onix, very good. Hitmonchan comes out, one-shot the Hitmonchan, one-shot. Hitmonlee, my next Pokemon I'm playing through. Hitmonlee gets a knockout. Onix, get the knockout again. And do we one-shot the Machamp? I doubt it. Machamp's pretty bulky. However, X-Defend really does help because it lets us get a two-shot. Agatha, we will beat Agatha. We have all the moves to do it. The only problem is we're not going to outspeed her Gengars. That's the biggest problem with this Pokemon. Okay? Earthquake, well, we do. It must be a speed tie because we should not have outsped her right there. So we got a speed tie. And now Haunter's up. Earthquake there, very good. Arbok, Earthquake, very good. And now we have Gengar coming out. Earthquake, get the knockout, very good. So Agatha could have been tricky. I thought we wouldn't outspeed her or Ghost types whenever we were playing this. So now here is Lance, and this is where we can have another wall. Blizzard, I'm hoping to get a freeze, no freeze, Body Slam. Best case scenario right there is exactly what that is. You get the miss when it comes to the Hydro Pump, which is great. Now I can set up. I'm tanking a lot of stuff. Hyper Beam didn't do a lot of damage. And so now we have ice moves to take out the last few Pokemon. I can use Earthquake on Dratini because I can't use Earthquake on a flying type like Dragonite or like Aerodactyl. So we get the win against Lance. Now if he'd hit a Hydro Pump, we wouldn't have won. Okay. So now we're facing our rival. The rival fight. We cannot mimic a move, so we have to go solely off moves here. Now instead of keeping Mimic, I went ahead and added Fire Blast. Fire Blast, hopefully it's 120 base power fire move. Can do a little bit more damage to our rival's Ace Venusaur than Blizzard can. It's weak to both, but I think Fire just may do a little bit better. Hydro Pump, it's gonna knock us out. Okay, so now we gotta go back. There's not a lot we can really do when it comes to this battle. We can't add anything. There's nothing we can really add here. I've saved before the mimic changed in case I come up with a different strategy, but it's just about getting the proper RNG. And the problem with this Pokemon is it doesn't have a stat booster. If I had something to boost our stats, I could outdo some of the problems we're going to have. I could outdo the Alakazam outspeeding us and in using Reflect on the first turn so I can knock it out. So like right now, it's going to use Reflect or Recover. It's going to go first turn is the best way to put it. Reflect doesn't matter on the second turn. I've pretty much already knocked it out. But in essence, it still goes first. So Body Slam, Hydro Pump, we almost get knocked out again. Okay. We get the knockout, thank goodness. And we go to Earthquake. It's a stab move, so hopefully it does a lot of damage to Arcanine. And now Venusaur's up. Fire Blast. Not a one-shot. He takes in Solar Beam. That was what we needed. If we went for Vine Whip, we went for Razor Leaf, anything else, we'd have lost. However, going with Solar Beam is 2 moves. Why I personally don't like it is because it takes 2 turns to do. And we beat our rival. And now we're clicking. We're trying to get the best time possible. And Marowak at level 74. Boom. Okay. So in order to play time. However, 1 hour and 38 minutes and 16 seconds. Not a bad playthrough. I predicted an hour and 20 minutes. And again, this is part of this me playing through all these Pokemon and learning new things. Is I came across the fact that we can't hit birds. And because we can't hit birds, which is a flying type, we can't hit Gyarados with a lot of our moves I thought might hit Gyarados. So you're relied upon with Body Slam with Gyarados. You're relied upon even Fire Blast, but we didn't use Fire Blast on him. So you're relied upon with other things other than your best moves to beat Gyarados. Like I said, I think I might have to try a playthrough in the future where instead of the rival choosing Bulbasaur, the rival chooses Squirtle. And then we don't have to deal with Gyarados until the Elite Four. So, might be a thing. I'm not sure. But it may be a future thing. What do you let me know what you think? What do you think of the playthrough? What do you think of that going forward? Should I swap the starter Pokemon for the opposition, see if that helps us? Let me know in the comment section down below. This has been JD. It's JD's Nerdverse. Today is May the 4th, by the way. It's my anniversary, but May the 4th be with you. I love Star Wars. Everyone have a good one. And until next time, see you.